Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Shakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing this word with truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's a couple of brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And as always, we got the beloved other Taz Supply as well. The Wadi Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, as always, for blessing us with another opportunity, to come forth and bring forth this news, or the prophecies, in which we have a few, well, really two major prophecies left that we wait on to be fulfilled. And there's many other, minor, it's not really minor, but smaller prophecies that's going to take place around those two major ones. And what's the two major prophecies? The first one is the MOTB, which is the RFID micro sea hip in World War III when those missiles be shot off. And if you look around in the world, these are the main two things and events that's taking place, among other things. World War III is happening, ramping up daily, and also you have the MOTB system, in which that's in mainstream media, and they push it and telling you in your face daily that this old world is out of date and need a update, and everybody is going digital. Everybody is going digital. Everybody, all countries are beginning a digital ID to start it off. And then eventually let's go tied to your healthcare. Then eventually let's go tied to your finances. But the point is, as you see in the title, it says Thursday Live, the MOTB system has been gradually unfolding worldwide. And we'll play a video later on in the lesson. But Esau been started with the MOTB system. It ain't just started in 2025 or when CV happened. Now, of course, that sped things up, but Esau has been doing this since way back, even at the point of cell phones coming out. Cell phones, that was to get you hooked on being tied to that digital grid. Facial recognition and selfies, even selfies. People thought selfies just to take a selfie, just to have a picture of yourself on the phone. No, it was to get your face. You see, so Esau have been planning this, but now we're at the end to where he about to speed it up, and take it to the next level. But before we hop into it, Tyler, you got anything?
No, we can get right to it.
So as we've been touching on, like every week is a different nation that's bringing forth a digital ID, right, or some type of app that's going to track people via a cell phone. Well, now you have India. In the past weeks we touched on, you had China, Russia, and many other people, but now you have India. It says End Time Headlines put out December 2nd. It says India orders tracking app to be installed in all smartphones. India's government sent a notice to private companies last week, giving them 90 days to ensure that a government app was pre-installed on all mobile handsets manufactured or imported for use in India. And again, you had Russia. They just came out with it saying when you get a phone, you have to download the app. See,
Right.
everybody going, you got it.
No, you good.
Trying to see everybody going this way. Everybody going, and they try to make it seem, cute and convenient at first, and bringing it forth by way of an app. Again,
Exactly.
why? Because people used to the cell phones. That was Esau plan the whole time to give them a cell phone. Right? Let's gradually do it. Now he's gonna start with an app, and you think it's just an app. I can delete it when I want, so on and so forth. But once you tied to the system, you tied to it. you know. But it's gonna start with an app. Then it's gonna probably move to a digital ID. And then it's gonna move to something else, and then eventually the last thing will be the actual MOTB. But it says the order said that the requirement.
Oh, on that app, because the video you're gonna play in a little bit with James Martinez, that's heavy. So keep that in mind, these government apps, all right? Because he's gonna speak about implied consent, all right, as it applies to law. If if you don't say nothing, it's like being complicit. And he's gonna speak on that, but as it applies to these apps, all right, when you agree to the terms and conditions, that's a contract. And so that's another way they rope you in. So you want the phone, the app come with the phone, and then when you get the phone, you got to set up the app. You got to agree to the terms and conditions. That's how they gonna rope you in. All right. Now that ain't the mark, but it's gonna lead you to it. All right. But yeah, so I just wanted to point that out. Speaking about these apps and these phones. All right. But go ahead, brother.
Yep. And who even read the agreements before you download the app anyway? You
Right.
just click
Nobody
OK,
reads it.
or you just click OK,
Exactly.
or next, yes.
I
Because
started reading them lately, you know. I started reading them and not super thorough, but kind of, at least glancing over it now, since we at this time. But right, brother, you got it.
I read a little bit more. We're gonna move on. Well, that's pretty much it. So India, they next up. They with it too. So Chief Ephraim, everybody with it. Um, this next one again, touching on digital IDs, just showing the world this is where the world going, and nobody they don't have a choice. It's not that they want to; it's the Lord putting on their spirit because you have to according to prophecy, and that's why we have the confidence to speak of these things because we know what's supposed to happen and what gotta happen. It says from SkyNews.com. This was put out Thursday, October 16th. So it's a while back. Now I just want to highlight the whole B system because that's what it's about to highlight right here. The whole B system is pretty much going that way. And then we'll touch on some other countries worldwide. But it says skynews.com. It says the countries where digital ID already exists. In a number of countries, including Denmark, Estonia, India, digital ID schemes similar to what the UK government wants to implement in Britain already exist. Now I'm gonna jump through this. It says, as Britain gears up to make digital ID mandatory for all UK citizens across the globe, similar schemes already exist. It says that all UK citizens are to have a mandatory ID to prove their right to live and work in the country, which will be kept in a wallet similar to that of an Apple Wallet or Google Wallet. It says, while the success of the scheme remains to be seen, the government has said it's going to use the best aspect of digital IDs. I'm gonna jump down. It says in the European Union, right, the EU, part of the beast, physical ID cards have existed for decades. And it goes on how, but now everybody getting down with them digital IDs. Now,
Let
on
me
this
bring
one, it
let me
says, would you
let
say,
me bring
Zaquan?
this out.
Con.
Let me bring this out. This Psalm 55 and 20. All right. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So I'm bringing this out a couple of reasons. One, it speaks about, his words, the words of his mouth being smoother than butter. It says, but war was in his heart. Anytime this man come, like he's doing something good for humanity, just like global warming, or he's offering you this technology to help you stay in touch with your family and with your loved ones, and you could do this and you could do that. He's speaking sweet and all of that. It's always because we know from Genesis, the 27th chapter, that the blessing that this man got, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the blessing that he got from our forefather Isaac was the blessing of the sword. So it only makes sense that war would be in his heart. So everything that he offers you or he puts out for you to consume or to purchase, you guarantee it has a war application to it. All right. And just like these cell from hell, the internet was created through DARPA and the military, brought us the internet. So this is how he rolls. All right. And the people, we out here, we just trying to survive, man. He got it to where people can't live, you know. We ain't worried about them or bothering them. You know, everybody's stretched and stressed and, you know, pushed to their limits. You know, ain't nobody bothering Esau, but he getting ready to put his hands against, you know, all of humanity, you know, and just going back to when it says, yeah, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. You know, that's his blessing, even his words. So even with anything that he tell you, just like Trump is found out to be a fraud, all right? He's a he's a liar and a fraud, a con man. He is the wizard of Babal, all right? And he's selling this place up the river. But this is what they do. And just speaking on this technology, it goes into Second Thessalonians chapter 2 with the miracles. All right. This is how he's going to draw everybody in, all right, through these this war technology, these you know, with the phones and all of his apps. And they even did the psychological research on when they put these memes out. Even that's war, that's psychological warfare. When they put these memes and these gifs, giffies out, that's to stir consciousness in a certain direction where this man wanted to go. You know, so you know this man is the devil, and he's taking the whole world to war. And people have to understand that we are at war as Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and you Native Americans. You've been prisoners of war here in Babylon,
Right.
running around here voting and marching and shit, and you a prisoner of war, you know? But right, this is this is where we are, and he's going to use the technology per. I'm gonna read that, and then I'm gonna give it back to you. Second Thessalonians chapter 2, and I'm gonna go right to it. This is I'm gonna start at verse 10. Well, I got to get 9. All right, Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. All right, he, Esau, Edom, the people that run the world. All right, the elite Edomites run the world, and the other Edomites, they enjoy the fruits of the, you know, this is their kingdom. And the ones you see, you know, holding the signs on the corners, well, they could be Jake, or you know, they just could be two-time losers, one of the two. But it says, even him, Esau, Edom, whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. And that's really what I needed. All right. The power, signs, and lying wonders, a lot of that is through his technology. All right, which we're getting ready to get into with this MOTB. And that's the main event. Well, the the the, the third woe is the main event. So yeah, this MOTB is huge. All right. So much so that, as we know from Revelation 3 and 10, the Lord is going to try the whole world with this MOTB. All right. So it said, verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. All right. I remember 1 Corinthians 1 and 18 says, the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. All right. So, right. This is why the Lord is giving them up to unrighteousness. They don't believe in Yahweh. Well, the Father or the Son. It said, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. All right. And for this cause, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. And that was the point, you know, he's going to be working these miracles with all these, you know, signs and lying wonders, all right, through this technology that the people are already addicted to. All right. And now it's coming down to it's going to be mandated. You won't have a choice. All right. So you got it out.
That's it. I'll read a little bit more. Well, I ain't got to read it, but it goes to everybody, even America, American states, that's going that way. But I'll move on to this one, and we can get into that video, play a good bit of that video. But remember how last week we talked about, especially around the border, America is putting out cameras to track and trace everybody and all your movements. And they said if you have suspicious movements, then they can pull up on you, in other words. Well, America ain't the only ones doing that. It's the UK now as well. End Time Headlines put out December 4th. It says the UK government rolling out live facial recognition cameras for every town and city across the country. It says in a bold move to combat rising crime. And see, that's another thing. I watched another Yashawama video, and I know we talked on it last week, but with the so-called immigrant, Islamic immigrant who shot, what it was, National Guard soldier, and now Trump and them talking about, oh my God, there's more danger. We need 500 more troops. They're gonna start using these different events, crime, disorder, and chaos to further bring one more troops, but mainly to implement this system for AI with Palantir. They're gonna make deals. Oh my God, we got terror ISTs. We need to track them. We got immigrants, so we need to track them for the safety of Americans, and Americans go agree with it, not knowing you will get tracked too. It says in a bold move to combat rising crime, the UK government has announced plans to deploy live facial recognition cameras in every town and city across the country. The initiative, unveiled today, aims to enhance public safety by scanning faces in real time against watch lists of suspects and missing persons. It says Home Security Yvette Cooper revealed the strategy during a parliamentary session, stating this technology will revolutionize policing, allowing officers to identify threats instantly without invasive searches. The rollout will begin with 100 new LFR units, that's the cameras, in major hubs like Manchester, Birmingham, and Leeds by mid-2026. See, 2026 is going to be a year. Esau going, he's taking it there. He just let you know in 2025. 2026, he going to do it. He just had to let everybody know what was coming in 2025. 2026, they going with it, man. Remember, it's Agenda 20, it's plans for Agenda 2030. They ain't starting in 2030. They starting now to be done by 2030. You was about to say something, Taza Paul?
No, you good.
Okay, Con. It right now, and it goes on about the cameras. They both got 99% accuracy. So even if you got a ski mask on, they seeing you, right? And we'll read this last little one, which we'll hop around this when we can get to this video, because all these articles gonna lead to this video, But this is the main thing we've been seeing lately. These so-called tech philanthropists, right? You got the Bill Gates, you got Mark Zuckerberg, you got Larry Ellison. You had these different people who have been put up on mainstream media all in your face. As soon as Trump got in office, he had tech giants right there with him. But why have they been putting all these people in your face? Why is it that these so-called tech giants has become so important now? And donating all this money. It's not because they just love society, they love the people and really want to help the people. It's a power grab. And not just any power grab, it's a tech power grab to further enslave you. And that's really what we see. And that's why we're seeing all these tech billionaires come and millionaires and trillionaires, so to speak, come to the forefront. These gonna be the very, what you say?
No, I'm sorry. You got go ahead.
I was about to say these gonna be the very people who are put in place to set up the digital foundation of the MOTB system. they donate the money, they got the means to do so.
It's the realization of the Rothschild philosophy or doctrine. Give me control of a nation's money and I care not who writes the laws. And this is what we're seeing: corporate takeovers. Corporate been in control, but they had these paid off politicians to give the people the illusion of legitimate government. And it really been this way, but now they just coming out and showing you, yeah, we calling the shots. That's one of the things, James, that was interesting about his interview with Clayton, is that he mentions that, and how the politicians don't even. He say a lot of them don't even know what the fuck is going on. Well, he didn't say it like that, but he said they have no clue as to the details of this, system that's coming up. But yeah, man, this is where we are, bro, in the scope of prophecy, you know. But yeah, you got it.
Come. So I read a little bit into this. It says this was put out a couple of days ago, December 2nd, 2 days ago. It says from naturalnews.com. It says an insider's revolt. Now this according to prophecy too, because the Lord says that he will make their own tongue fall upon themselves. Let me get that real quick. It's Psalm 64 and 8. It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna start up so we know who it's talking about. Psalm 64 and 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, the so-called white man, and who helping them out, you have the nations, but Esau is the wicked. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. And this is one of the secret counsels, the digital system. And he doing it like nobody see him. Right. Like he set it up like nobody see you. Man, we see you. We see you. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrow, even bitter words. It says, this is the point I wanted. Verse, wait, where am I? Here it is, verse 8. It says, and so they, talking about the wicked, shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. And all that see them shall flee away. And that's another thing we've been seeing, these Edomites exposing their Edomite agenda. Because one, they could be Israelites, but two, they realize how bugged out Esau plans is and how it's not possible to put a C-hip in everybody, to have a digital world. That's not possible. So you have a lot of people exposing these things, which the prophet's been saying. The Lord just put it on their spirit to say it so we can get more information on what's being talked about behind closed doors. Right? But it says an insider's revolt. Tech philanthropy exposed as a conduit for globalist power grab. And that's exactly what we're seeing. That's why all these tech billionaires coming to the front. They trying to see what spot they can get in this NWO digital system.
But see, that's the spirit we went into Psalm 55, because what they call them philanthropists. What does that mean? Love of man,
right?
Or, love of humanity or mankind, but the love of man, But where has he ever showed love? All right, fixing to put tax credits in play and UBIs and all of this shit. Where is the love? He's not even gonna treat you as human, but they call him philanthropist. Oh, look at this. He's such a philanthropist. Yeah, that's okay. But see, this is how they do. And the whole time, war is in these bastards' hearts. Fucking bastards. Go ahead, brother.
That's it. So I read a little bit of this and we can play that video because I want to get to that video. He go explain how everything is been happening. It's the gradual system, gradually Esau has been gradually bringing forth this MOTB system. It just started with little things at first, like giving you a cell phone and again, the selfies and, social media. People thought social media was made for you to talk to people. No, it was made to get your information. See, it was made to get your information so you can create your profile, put your face, tell me where you're at, tell me what you like, post so I can have your digital person on the grid already. That's what we seeing. Everything that was used to put us in the system, and it may seem like, sign up for this, sign up for that. All these things will be used to lock you in, man. It says a major Silicon Valley insider, Nicole Shanahan, has publicly denounced the elite philanthropic and political system she was once a part of. Shannon alleges wealthy tech wives were unwittingly used to fund and legitimize the World Economic Forum's Great Reset agenda. It says the outcomes she states have been negative. It worsened worsened social problems, higher costs, and less freedom, despite massive financial investments. It says her testimony is framed as a whistleblower event, revealing how globalist ideologies were bankrolled and advanced through big tech's influence. And it goes on. I'm gonna just read one little part. I want to play this vid. Where is that? I don't know if this is Klaus Schwab. All right, here it is. It says from Build Back Better to Great Reset. It says Shanahan directly links this machinery to the vision of Klaus Schwab and the Global Economic Forum. She alleges the philanthropic complex was mobilized. Check this out. Why did these digital and tech giants come to the forefront all of a sudden in world history? All of a sudden now. It was mobilized to do this. It was mobilized to do this. It says Shannon directly links this machinery to the vision of Klaus Schwab and the Economic Forum. She alleges the philanthropic complex was mobilized to do what? To set the groundwork for what Schwab terms the Great Reset. The agenda marketed to the public as Build Back Better. So the point is, that's why we seeing this, man. That's exactly why we seeing this. The MOTB is here, and it ain't going nowhere. Esau ain't pump faking no more. He ain't got time to pump fake no more. Revelation 12 and 12. He got a short time. So we definitely about to see him take it though. You got anything else before we play this video? Other talks about?
No, you good, brother.
So we go play this vid. Now this from Redacted, and it says this is an extinction level event. CIA MK Ultra whistleblower James Martinez is sounding the alarm, and he spoke about a lot, and it's in a bio as well. If you want to check it out, we just gonna kind of bounce around. But one thing he was saying,
you gotta see the whole thing, and as you watch it, the precepts just flow, and he go into so much. That free, precept just gonna flow to you, like rivers of living waters, and it's like multiple lessons just in this video, But yeah, you got it out.
And one thing he gonna say is, MK Ultra, when the government got your mind and can program you, what he gonna say is, yeah, that is real. That's for sure is real. And he gonna say how they've been using this on people, regular patients in hospitals, drugging people up. And the next thing is as far as the digital thing, to get people mind, man.
Yeah, putting forth his hands against such as be at peace with them. These unsuspecting, people, and they just experimenting on them. They experiment on us, chemtrails, all of these frequencies, all, through the atmosphere. But yeah, you got it out.
I'll go ahead and play it. I got around a 6-minute mark. Hold on. And Shalom to Allah Akim, Akwa through tuning in, y'all. Let me reshare the screen. Yeah, let me know if you got something, Zaquan.
What was called at that point the Freedom of Thought Foundation, which basically was a 501c3 that stood for the right and freedom to have cognitive liberty, or the right to your own thoughts, the right to your own identity, the right to all things, the right to your own brain, the right to your sovereign self for being here, for having an existence that's not controlled by somebody else. We were the first to do that. And back then, nobody knew anything about this at all. They barely knew what was going on at all. There was a very small handful of people that was involved with this. Colonel Fletcher Prouty was involved. Colonel Tom Bearden was involved. Walter Boat was involved. I was involved. We had to sign agreements with psychiatrists and psychologists because they were terrified because a lot of their clients had been abused in various programs, and they became clients. So we were looking at all the neuroscience and the effects of the neuroscience on culture in the United States. So this is what's going on behind the scenes, unbeknownst to basically everybody. The behavior.
And what years are we talking about here?
This
we
was
talk
in
about
the
MK Ultra program going from the 1950s to the 1970s.
I just looked up neuroscience. It says neuroscience. It says such as neurochemistry and experimental psychology, which deal with the structure or function of the nervous system and brain. So that's what Esau tapping into.
Right.
But of course, we've done interviews on this show where
and he looked like he knows some stuff. Dude to the right, what's his name? James. He looked like he knows something.
Yeah, he was MK Ultra.
He looked
he was experimented on. But yeah, you got it.
Yep. Yeah, he even said how you around the 80s was doing it. You had people, around the UFO craze, and they talking about people got abducted. He said they was actually taking people, doing MK Ultra on them, and had the people thinking they was abducted. Never was abducted, but that's how they knew it worked, because the people actually had PTSD and thought they was abducted, but it was just they was messing. They had control of their mind. See, Esau able to do this. And another thing, he kind of mentioned it, but even with the foods, stuff you've been eating, it's been weakening people's immune system. These different things that Esau give out, like all of a sudden you got a weed. You can buy like weed, the little artificial weed from the gas station now, right? Mm-hmm. I've been thinking, like, why all of a sudden Esau just got all this shit, all this stuff for, being sold now and legal. But why? He needs certain things to get in your body to weaken your immune system, to mess up your functions, and it's gonna be so much easier to get your mind, man. To get your mind.
I think it ended in the 70s, but it became even more robust.
We're in it. We're in it right now, which is the reason why I'm coming out and telling everybody now, because there's been movies, media, people have been talking about this, what we did all over the place. People can handle it now, but what they can handle and maybe not be able to handle is the reason why I'm doing this interview in the first place, and why I was put in touch with you, because I was given a lot of people to talk to, and you were on the list, because initially when the 501c3 was set up, it was a nonprofit foundation to educate the public about how important it is to maintain our cognitive liberty. This supersedes the Constitution, law, everything, right? It's your right to have your own thoughts.
Speaking about last week. So he said cognitive liberty, meaning you having sovereignty over your own mind and thoughts. That's what he's speaking about. So you got it.
As an attorney and people associated with law, they're kind of getting acquainted with this now and what this is going to mean to human rights. So to the point reason I came here to talk to you is because recently I was asked to be the chief advisor on a committee related to the brain-computer interface and its relation to the international standards for technology. That basically is
right there.
They're
brain-computer interface. Now, this is what we speak about all the time, and all the brothers is going into it. But I want to interject, right there, Revelation 13 and 16. All right, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. It says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, a computer brain interface. All right, so as Rabbi was mentioning earlier with the cell phones, this is how we progress to this point. And he's even going to go take it back to the pager, all right, which is before your time. But I remember, and he was absolutely right. You always looking down at your waist, you holding your pager, you looking at your pager. It kind of became a part of you, and it got to a point, shit, you ain't going nowhere without your page. you know, and then it became a fashion statement. And, you know, we wore pages like they were a part of us. And then you can get the different cases, you can match your outfit and shit. You know, Esau did this in steps, you know. We speak about incrementalism and what's the other term? Shit. It's another one.
Gradualism.
Gradualism to what? We speak about these things and not even understanding the depths that Esau and went, you know, to get us to this point. We didn't just get here. We've been guided here. And again, with the assault on the internet with the memes and even these podcasts and all of this is to stir the mindset, the collective mindset in a specific direction. So we didn't just arrive here. This has been strategically plotted and planned. So yeah, brother, I just wanted to get that part about the forehead. That's what he's speaking about, a brain-computer interface. So how do we interface now? With your phone. You got a brain phone interface. You go to Chat GPT and or used to be Google. You had a question, you wanted to answer to something, you ask Google, or you could even go to YouTube, figure out how did I change this radiator? You can go to YouTube, how to change your radiator. That's an interface, all right? Human to phone interface. And we've been saying for years, yeah, the next phone is going to go in your head. That's the brain computer interface. It's going to be on the chip. If you look at all the shit you can do on the phone, it's amazing. All right. And I've seen the evolution. This is a mini computer. The shit that in the 90s you would have needed a room to put, you would have had to have, you know, keyboard, the actual computer itself, modems and all. You needed all type of shit. Now you just got it in the palm of your hand. So then what's next? A chip right in your forehead or in your right hand. That's what's next. You know? But right, that's what he's talking about. You had something, Mike?
Yeah, I was about to say, and two, even with the phones, and man, that's why Americans and people just, I want to say stupid, but they just don't know, right? But they so in awe about every little app and new technology that come out, they're willing to just download it and get it. And what I mean is, you have on your cell phone, right? You had the cell phone, just a phone at first. Then it was put on Apple Wallet. You can start paying with your phone. Then you can put what? You ain't gotta have your car insurance on the card no more. It's on your phone. Now you ain't gotta have no health care. Just had the card on your phone. Have your information on your phone. Esau started doing that over time. And then you had things like, you know, the watch, the Apple Watch to track your steps, you know, how much you ate today. Even small little things like that was gradualism, incrementalism to get you tied to using a digital system daily and all day. But people thought it was cool. People
remember we had spoke on this in some shows back. You know, they did that old Pokemon challenge to geo-map the earth, to put in the in the cloud and all that shit, to put in cyberspace. So they had people walking around, but while you walking, you know, the game or the computer, the chip in the game or whatever, it's you know, mapping the land as you wandering about, is mapping and plotting the land for cyber, you know, cyber world and whatever else they got. But right, for they always had these nefarious, you know, underhanded motives behind whatever they do. You know, it's never nothing that they give you that's solely for your benefit. But yeah, you good, brother.
That's it.
A group of countries all over the world, and they all have committees that represent their country. Those committees determine what the standards are going to be for technology when it's commercialized and goes all over the world. Like, for instance, the phone or a toaster or whatever, it's got to meet certain safety standards and all this type of stuff. These committees are determining public policy about what's going to happen when you interface the brain, the computer, AI, and quantum. That's going to end everything, period. It's the end. It's the initiation of the decapitation of our relationship to God. Will become cybernetic, will become, instead of carbon, will be silicon-based life forms, cybernetic, and they're going to do this via voluntary compliance. Most people will walk right into it, not even knowing they're doing it or want to do it, because there's portions of the population all over the world, in the younger generations, that feel that humanity has no hope at all, and they're going to fuse with this technology already. So the brain-computer interface, it's tied in to everything. All our warfare systems, all our banking systems, all our health systems, all in the ways we do commerce and move about in culture. This
All right, right
is the
there.
extinction level event, because
Right there. Right there. Can you just back it up a little bit and play that one more time?
population all over the world going to do this via voluntary compliance. Most people will walk right into it,
You
not even
mentioned
knowing that they're doing it
voluntary
or want to do it.
compliance.
Because
All right. Voluntary compliance is you going along to get along. All right. Oh, well, they say got to get the app. So, I better get this app. That's compliance, voluntarily. All right. But he getting ready to go ahead. This is coming up.
there's portions of the population all over the world, in the younger generations, that feel that humanity has no hope at all, and they're going to fuse with this technology already. So the brain-computer interface, it's tied in to everything. All our warfare systems, all our banking systems, all our health systems, all in the ways we do commerce and move about in culture.
Okay,
This
hold it.
is the extinction level event, because
Exactly. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, he said it is tied to everything, right? So again, Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls it all. Why? Because this brain computer interface is tied to everything. And he mentioned banking, he mentioned war, all right? He went on to say, I think he said international, but he mentioned commerce and the healthcare. If I didn't say that, the healthcare, these are all the things that we've been prophesying, all right, since the elders been on YouTube. And they might have been even before then, but right now, this is, we are here, and these things are, well, they ready to go. And it's just a matter of Esau saying, all right, now, no more cash, no more this, no more that. We got to do it this way. All right. And as you just heard, it's tied to everything, but we don't know it, or we not, it's not because he said it that we believe. He just bearing witness. All right. And that's some anytime, the left hand is on par with the right hand, that's the will of the Most High. As brother posted, we read it, Psalm 68, 64 and 8. They're gonna make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, so that means they're gonna bear witness to the truth. They're gonna be telling some of the secrets. All right. So he just saying what we've been saying. All right. But as the brother, you mentioned it just a little while ago, now we're getting it from, it's like inside information. Well, really, I mean, shit, it don't get no more inside than the Most High, but we getting it on the left-hand side. All right. But we already had it on the right. So that means shit, yeah. it's good to go. So he's getting ready to cause all. All right. Just like we've been saying, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, going back to the Greek charagma, all right, which is an implanted, something implanted. And it says, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, Chief Eve.
Right.
All right. It's international. It's tied to everything. You're gonna have to get it. When they flip the switch and say it's on, it's on. All right. Ain't no, well, what if I do it this way? What if I, no, if you ain't right with the Most High, you getting that mark. Just like the apostle been saying, you know, you niggas gonna get that mark. That ain't right with the Most High. I don't care what you say. But I can tell how you niggas living, chasing bags and shit. You ain't gonna resist no temptation. Mm-hmm. You can't even resist being, resist being rich and famous. How you gonna resist torture? And just you gonna take that mark. All you shit talking, I ain't taking no more. Not me. Yeah, right. Cause again, I mentioned it. Let me grab this right quick. Revelation 3. The Most High got to give you that spirit to resist this mark. That's how tough this is. Ain't nobody resisting this on their own will. The Most High got to give you the spirit to resist. All right? This is Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience. All right, now we got to bring this up. Well, the heathen keeping the word of the Most High's patience. All right, this is speaking to a specific people. All right, find out who that people is. Because this ain't speaking to everybody. All right, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee. All right, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. The Most High got to keep you from this. That's how bad this gonna get. All right. We ain't been out there enduring the heat and enduring the cold and going through all this, being worn out, just because it's gonna be a walk through the park. And we're gonna come to this point and it's just gonna be a walk through the park. No, we've been preparing ourselves, keeping the word of the Most High's patience. Because we believe and we fear his word. This terror is coming, brought to you by none other than Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord had not done it? This ain't Esau doing shit. This is the Most High bringing this terror. And y'all out here fucking playing. So because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is when this mark is made mandatory. You're going to have to make a decision. Am I going to, withdraw from society? Because it's a breakaway. Oh, he even mentioned it's a breakaway civilization coming. So yeah, there's going to be some heavy decisions to make. All right. So it said, which shall come upon all the world, everyone. All right. To try them that dwell upon the earth. But right, going back, Revelation 13 and 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast, because this is tied. He mentioned in this, he's talking about a chip, all right, a brain computer interface. If you go in your car and it got it's an interface, they call it a brain box. It's a chip, it's a bunch of chips in there, but it's a big ass chip. that runs the car. It interfaces with the functions of the car to regulate it and to alert you if something ain't functioning properly. All right. That's an interface. So this is what he's talking about, is for you to interface in society, in this cyber digital society. You need this brain computer interface. We call it MOTB. All right. Because you won't be buying or selling without it. All right. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And his number is 603 score and 6. All right. Chazastigma in the Greek, which further supports that this is a charagma. Because when you go into stigma, it means to prick. And that's how they go administer this charagma, is through a prick with the syringe. But anyway, brother, you got it. I just had to bring it out because he mentioned it right there. It is tied to everything, Chief Ephraim. Everything. The bankers run this, not Putin, not Stormer or the Prince or the King Charles, not Trump. They don't run this. Again, the Rothschild philosophy. Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who write the laws. And we see this in full fruition because the corporations run the world, the banks run the corporations. Who run the banks? Come on, y'all got to pay attention. But go ahead, I'm
gonna play it because you're gonna say it's all gonna lead to the chip.
No longer or an organic free will human being. You're now fused, tied into the cloud. And there's a documentary film crew that's recently contacted me, and I've talked to many people behind the scenes now, because I really initially I could have commercialized myself in this chapter of my life quite well and made a huge name for myself. I'm another mind control guy, but I really didn't want to do that. I've not been really public, not as much as I used to be, because I've always been in the solution orientated thing. Don't tell an audience just a problem without telling them a solution. So I don't want to come here and say, okay, we're at the end of civilization and that's it, goodbye, have a nice day, rather than inform your audience, inform the people that will see this either live or taped or a year from now or 6 months from now, that this is the point where you can no longer be a spectator, period. Because everything that's in the news today, when this will be aired, is not relevant at all. It's all misdirection. And I say it's not relevant at all, not because it's not important, because it is important. But the behind the scenes, the powers that be want everybody distracted with the Epstein and the war and Gaza and Africa and all this other stuff. When I'm in touch with a lot of people in other countries, and I've informed them that this activity is taking place now. To summarize it and make it relevant for people that may be new to this, Palantir, everybody knows that name. They are aiding and abetting the end of our species.
I almost passed out from a mold reaction in my own.
You got it.
Can you bring out No Flesh Left to Be Saved for me? For some reason, it's not coming to me.
There's Matthew chapter 24.
Right.
And verse 21, it says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect."
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. You can go ahead and finish it.
Now it just says, and except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Right, for the elect's sake, those days should be shortened, because Balak pointed out that, where he said extinction level event I just want y'all to be clear. That's what he's talking about. No flesh left to be saved. They want to either have you knocked off or in the cloud, just like he just said. So that's the extinction level event. No more natural man. All right. You'll be interfaced with machines and computers. All right. Or just have your consciousness floating around in the clouds somewhere. They had this technology to do that. They had Felicia Rashad in the movie Black Box showing you that, you know. But yeah, that's the extinction level event where they want to, you know, do away with the Most High's humanity, how the Most High created us. All right. So yeah, it won't be the end of people per se, but the end of how the Most High created us. And that's what he's talking about, going from carbon-based to silicone-based, meaning, you know, computerized, computer chips and shit. Right, that's not how the Heavenly Father created us. And last week I went into a little bit of the natural man and the legal man. All right, we are natural law, we natural under law. We were given law to be governed and ruled by law as natural flesh and blood men. All right, and our life is in our blood. But this shit that they doing, all right, where they want to make everybody transhumanist. All right, so right, they didn't, for the people that got the shot and ain't dropped dead, their blood has completely been mutated. All right, in preparation for all of this that's coming. So that's why he said extinction level event. So it's going to be a complete changing of mankind if he's allowed. But as the scripture said, all right, read it again. I read it one more time.
Matthew
as the scripture has said.
Matthew 24:22, and except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Most High He's gonna shorten it for us. All right. And so yeah, you got it, brother. That was it.
In the near future, is he's going to be sued by many people to begin the process of public dialogue, public policy, and your rights to your own brain. Now, there's already been laws that have been passed in the governor of California just passed the laws protecting somebody's individual brain, and they just tell off the tail parts of it. But when they said they were going to get rid of a large portion of the global population, they didn't exactly say all the details in which they're doing. People presume that means we're dead. They're going to kill people. And yes, they are doing it, but they're using all sorts of soft kill weaponry to do it, to make it so they don't look like they're doing it. And they get everybody involved to be aiding and abetting in that. But this is invisible. Can't see where it's
So who's
coming
behind this specifically? We talk about MK Ultra. Is this part of the CIA MK Ultra program, part of your investigations and whistleblowing?
Yeah, this is part of the corporations aiding and abetting in the computer industry, the cell phone industry, the cell tower industry, and the satellite industry. Because you need, in order to make all these programs work, you have to have your subjects be fully invested and almost cybernetic with all their devices. In other words, I mean, how many people do you see a day that have their face in their phone all day? Or at least 8 to 10 hours a day, all over the place. And you have people in the cafes. So this has already altered cultural behavior and biology. It's already got biological impact anyway. We're not supposed to be sitting in cafes in front of phones for 12 hours in a row. Okay, so this is already happening and people are voluntarily complying and falling into this. So there's effects that are happening about this already, but in order for it to work, you have to have the legal compliance of the states and everybody that are putting up the towers. Because you might notice as well that if you're looking, and I don't know if you've covered this or not, there's people on the Hill right now that have testified in Congress about the use of neurostrike weapons on the brain in targeted individuals. This is a legitimate complaint because the first lawsuit in history against targeted individuals was filed by Anna Toledo, the attorney in Texas. This is related to all of this, because remember, to perfect weaponry or perfect a system, you need to test it. And a lot of these systems and weapons are being tested on the public unbeknownst to them, pagers. And they'd always be looking in NG conditions. It's basically micro escalation to prepare you for 6G. When they
see, it's micro escalation.
Put out the cell phones, we're basically training wheels for the public to prepare them for telepathy, because the effective instantaneousness was altered by the user in the interface. In other words, initially this started off with a pager. You may remember a long time ago when people had pagers, and they'd always be looking in an anticipatory state, waiting for their pager to go off, and they'd always have it in their hand. And then after that came the mobile phone. And then the mobile phone turned into the small iPhone or Android that we see. And then the effect and the alteration of our central nervous system is related to that technology, because it sped it all up and created the effect of instantaneousness. The effect of instantaneousness altered your cognition and altered how you interact with everybody in your universe. So they made stepping stones to get us to this part where we're at now, where the fusion of the brain, computer, AI, and quantum will be put into one. Now, that's
boom. Now I'm gonna jump up. So it's all been planned this whole time. I'm gonna jump to right here.
Look it up. The National Security Act of 1947. They did that like in a week, and there was like hardly any dialogue about it. It was all done secretly, around the same time as Roswell, around the same time as CIA came into the United States. And then this breakaway civilization, post Operation Paper came in, and they perfected all these sciences. And they had the national security clause to hide behind their entire careers. So we don't have free-flowing information in this country. We haven't for a very, very long time. And that's how these programs, they're getting away with it, because of that type of clause that people get faced with.
So if I understand this, well, maybe you can explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old, which is what they're trying to do to us now. So we've got many people who went and got the shots, having nanoparticles, manipulation of their DNA. We know that to be true now. But beyond that, the cell phone towers, the 5G towers, the constant bombardment of electricity into our lives, the cell phones, all of that. What is the goal? I mean, I think a lot of people might picture like a doctor.
He asks, what's the goal? What's the whole point of all this technology and stuff that we've been seeing these last couple of years? What's the point of this being put in all our faces?
Evil sort of sitting there, you know, in an underground bunker. Well, what are we seeing here?
It's to upgrade.
Come on, man. Fuck.
With AI,
you can create any.
But you see, asks, what's the goal?
Upgrade or alter our species.
And the plan is to upgrade people, alter the species that the Lord made.
While
so there won't be no flesh left to be saved, because the whole thing is about him getting his lick back. All right, since he feel like he was cheated out of the birthright, this is his way of fucking you out of yours. So if you get this shit, it's a wrap. All right, but you're gonna have to face that lake of fire. All right, if you're Israelite, you'll be back in the kingdom. All right, but you starting all over. I mean, you're gonna feel that fire though. Go ahead.
Yep. And he's gonna tell you exactly how they're gonna change people. And he's gonna say the chip.
To upgrade or alter our species while killing.
Remember, he went through the whole step of first it was the pager, then it was the phone, then it was the smaller phone. It's gonna keep going smaller till it's the digital grain of rice.
It off. And it's been decided by multiple groups of people. It's not just one single that person. When people hear about the World Economic Forum, that's the public arm of the people that have been asked to be in those positions, of people that have decided they want to reduce global population and they want to completely alter what it means to be human. So you have spokespeople like Noah Harari coming out and making statements about hackable animals, which are humans. And you're seeing the ongoing preparation for the separation or division of your divine incarnation, your right to be associated with godhood. That's being removed. So they're going to create a synthetic, different silicon-based type of human that is fused.
Even Apostle Tahar, he spoke on that with the juice, and he said that that juice is one of the things it does is disconnect that God gene, or destroys that your connection to the Heavenly Father. All right, and so again, that here he is, you know, backing up what we told you from the beginning. I had one right quick. Shoot, go ahead, Doc.
Incarnation, your right to be associated with godhood. That's being removed. So they're going to create a synthetic, different silicon-based type of human that is fused with technology. Either they'll be chipped or they can use other.
Can't go past that. That's what Esau trying to do. Change people. And the way they're gonna do it, they're gonna be chipped.
Different silicon-based type of human that is fused with technology. Either they'll be chipped or they can use other tools to use behavior modification and what that's going to do.
And I can't go past that because he said they're gonna be chipped or they're gonna use other means. They're gonna use other means still and mess with people's minds. But the point is, according to prophecy, what they gotta do, they gotta bring that sea help, and that's the only way for them to. That's the only way for the elite's plans to be fulfilled. As far as making man digital, you have to bring the MOTB forth along with the system. It's like you got to advertise a pot, but they starting this system. They ain't just go put all this money and time into building a digital infrastructure in cities and never have you connected to it. Know that C-Hip coming, man. You got it, Dozaquan.
No, that was it. I was just saying, this Psalm 82 and 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. All right, and Esau, he knows this. And a lot of you, the elites of these other heathen nations know this. They know who we are. All right. They know we are the Nephilim. I say it like that, how the internet say it. But we are the Napoleon, and that's what that's talking about here. But ye shall, verse 7, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. And when you go in the fall, is the word Nepal. And when you put the yam on the end, it makes it plural because we feel as a people. But we are gods. And that's what they really want, man, to shut you down. It's why they do the chemtrails, it's why they do the GMOs, it's why they do the music. They hit you with the trash, hip hop, and all this shit. They do all this to destroy your godhood or to keep you from even recognizing that you got the Most High in you. All right, our godhood don't come from us being, because we so high and mighty and bad. Our godhood comes from our connection to the Most High through his only begotten son now. All right, so once you let Esau destroy that, you can kiss this goodbye. Psalm 82 and 6. You forfeit your manhood and you write it off forever. You're gonna die in the lake, or maybe before that, by the sword or teeth of beast or some other, the Most High got many ways. But that was it. We are guys, and Jake, they should read this in the churches. The churches should read this every Sunday to Jake. Man, maybe that might, because Jake suffered from low esteem. A lot of the shit Jake do is from low self-esteem. But you know what? That go back from what we said on the block. That's from Esau not suffering our dead bodies to be put in graves. But then they, on top of that, they put all of this trash and poison and toxins constantly around us, feed us a steady diet of toxins and shit. Even from the clothes that we wear, to keep us from recognizing our potential. All right. And you will not recognize that potential unless you get into Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. You got to become one with Yahweh Shah. All right. You got to get into him and allow him to come into you and become one. All right. That's why it speaks about a wedding. All right. Because we're supposed to be one. All right. And then you got unlimited potential. That's why the Lord said, these miracles that I do, you should do in greater. All right, because we tied to his divinity and his spirituality and his power. All right, but yeah, that was it. Go ahead, brother. They want to cut us off from that. I ain't letting them.
Come on. Yeah, that was the. You want to play some more? I just wanted to get that point with the chip. You want to play some more?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I just mentioned he spoke about somebody toward the end, and we don't have to get it, but he got in the face and say this dude writing code with his mind. He can operate drones just from his mind, no controls, just from his mind. You know, but right, they say he's writing whole computer codes just from his mind, and this is what they gonna feed to the people to get you. Oh, look, and he spoke about telepathy. You know, that's gonna be a selling point. But no, that's pretty much it. That was the meat of it. Like I said, you got to watch it because I've been watching it, you know, all week, and since Monday, I've been watching it, and there's so much in there. All right. But right, they're getting ready to go for the gusto. Beware of these new apps and these terms and conditions. All right, just start reading them shits. All right, or just leave it alone altogether. But if you gonna agree to a term and condition, you better very well know what's in it. All right. And I spoke earlier this year, or maybe last year, by signing shit. Be careful by signing shit. All right. But they want to bring us into this cyber shit. They doing it subtly because they want it to be smooth. But as I was telling Karab Bard, before we get up out of here, this reset, all right, as the reset is going on, you know, you free from that straw man. This is why they going in for the kill. All right. This is why they got a third woe plan. All right. And we went into that earlier this year with Pike, the letter from Mazzini to Pike. They had 3 world wars planned, but all right, that's them again aligning with the scripture. All right, so right, they want to bring this about because they want to kill off the excess collateral. Because at that point, you ain't tied to nothing. All right, you ain't tied to your Social Security, you ain't tied to your birth certificate legally. All right, and you ain't tied to this system. And so that's why they gonna start killing people off, because you more at that point you worth more to them dead than alive. All right. And so all I'm saying is just try to stay out of this new system. They're gonna try to sneak it on you. The main thing, don't let them insert nothing into you. No maxes, no juice, and definitely, all right, no brain computer interface, MOTBs. All right, so yeah, we just got to be vigilant, and you got to be ready to suffer the consequences, whatever that may be. That's what I mean. We at that point, even he said, it's time to take action. You can't be a spectator no more. Well, us as far as our faith, you know, we coming down to the time we're gonna have to stand on it. We're gonna have to stand on that faith. So it better be up to par. But right, that was it, brother. I might do some more on that. You know, with Esau and this whole system that they bringing in. The brothers in Tampa, they doing one on the digital currency and the chip. But they got one, but he said he gonna be putting out some more info. You know, they put one out today on the digital currency, the GMS Tampa Bay. But he said he got more info to come. All right, so we just at that age where the time, all right, because they're getting ready to implement it. So all the information is out here, you know. But yeah, that was it.
And you could take us out. You got it. I ain't had nothing else.
Hey, we appreciate y'all, you know, bearing with us. Hey, when you get to this MOTB and all this info, you know, it can get a little detailed, a little lengthy, but I mean that's just how it go. And that's one of the things that he spoke of, the what is it, your nervous system being reset through this technology. People's attention spans have been cut short. They don't have patience to sit and digest knowledge, you know. But the Heavenly Father, he rewired us for his purpose. So stay wired and tuned to the Most High's purpose. All right. Esau got everybody else on something else. This is why you see, let's go out on Matthew 24:12. This is why you see that the love of many waxing cold. Well, part of the reason, because people's nervous systems have been rewired through the phones and shit. People suffer from depression because they looking at the screen. Why my life can't be like that? Why I can't, you know, that'll put you that's affecting your central nervous system. You know, and now you depressed because you seen somebody fake life on the on social media. But you got it, brother.
It's Matthew 24:12. It says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold."
And that was it. We went into that last week. You wanted to say something on it?
No, that's it. You know, the closer we get to the end, people gonna stop caring. You know, it's gonna be every man for himself. You know, every man for himself. And the more people see how the government don't care about them, that's when people really gonna lose their mind. You know, and you're gonna see a lot of people going psycho. That's what that word cold mean in the Greek, psycho. A lot of people about to lose their mind because of hard times.
Oh, so right, and that's it. We in that time. We're in the world of psychos, where people are just cold. And then already they're more machine than human already. All right, in their psychology, in their physiology, they're more, and how they think and their mindset is more machine than human anyway. People don't think critically. People don't apply, you know, sound, logic, skills when it comes to decision making and shit. People are driven by impulse and emotion, and a lot of that is fueled by this internet. But anyway, we're gonna get up out of here. We pray that you all was edified, and again, the water to y'all for, you know, sitting through and building with us. You know, hey, we love all y'all. All you brothers, let me see what. Yeah, kind of. All you and the sisters too. You know, and we love y'all coming through, and y'all be in order. Hey, that's beautiful. So, yeah, we pray that you all was edified. To the next one, y'all stay up. We're going to give our praises, honor, and glory before we get out of here to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. No honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone, as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings unto the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. All right. So to the next one, man, y'all stay up. Much love.
Shalom. Shalom, Akim. The water for